The UNPO is an international membership-based organisation whose members include the Initiative for the Resurgence of the Mauritanian Abolitionist Movement, ERA Mauritania. With ERA, we've been working for years to highlight the situation of the Haratin, the most vulnerable and largest single ethnic group in Mauritania, and those who have for generations been subjected to slavery and slave-like practices. In the last UPR cycle, there was clear concern for ending of slavery and protecting the Haratin people, as well as for ending the endemic problem of gender-based violence against Haratin women. Unfortunately, all of these issues remain to be resolved today. While slavery has been outlawed formally, it continues to exist widely in Mauritania, either as formal slavery or as bonded labour. There are very few convictions, both for slavery and for gender-based violence, and those convictions typically lead to light sentences after long delays. As a result, the UNPO encourages you to repeat and strengthen your statements from 2015, but merely doing so is not going to be sufficient. While of course we welcome and encourage recommendations to strengthen the legal and policy framework related directly to slavery and gender-based violence, merely changing the systems for providing support to victims, for investigating and prosecuting perpetrators, while urgently needed, are not going to make the changes that are absolutely necessary. Most significantly, unless there's urgent change in Mauritania which enables the Haratin to fully participate as full and equal citizens in Mauritanian society, slavery and the harmful legacies of slavery will continue, and the Haratin will ever increasingly be marginalized in society. The Haratin are discriminated against at all levels in Mauritanian society. In terms of land ownership, rates are very low, and those who do own land have only ever been able to access land of the lowest quality. Most former slaves are now bonded labourers or tenants on land that they worked as formal slaves, a condition not dissimilar to slavery itself. Participation in governance, whether in the civil service, in politics or in civil society, is heavily restricted, with widespread repression and discrimination of the Haratin. It's instructive to note, for example, that between 2015 and 2016, more anti-slavery activists were imprisoned and sentenced than slave owners. Our member, ERA Mauritania, continues to be refused registration, and its members and leadership are regularly arbitrarily arrested, detained and tortured. And the situation is getting worse, not better, since the 2019 elections and the formation of a new government. Since that time, the prior government's tentative reforms to enable more Haratin in the civil service have been overturned, and the pace of arrests and detentions of those seeking to exercise their rights to freedom of expression has been increasing. A new law, the Non-Discrimination and Criminalisation of Hate Speech Act of 2018, has been turned against human rights defenders, particularly those from the Haratin community, under a provision that criminalises any person who, and I quote, make infamous statements contrary to the official doctrine of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. As a result, we're asking the international community not only to reinforce the technical recommendations that were made in 2015, but to go further and to strongly condemn the increased repression and marginalisation of the Haratin in Mauritania, and ask for urgent reforms that allow them to participate truly as equal citizens of the country. Thank you.